Hey guys! It's March, which means it's Women's History Month. And who better to speak to during Women's History Month than our illustrious leader, our shop owner, our very own Ande Lockwood. Hi, boss.
History, hi.
Yeah.
History Month, okay. So
History Month.
History of Craftworks.
History of craft. Let's start there.
Okay, so Craftworks started in 1979 as a craft cooperative. I didn't actually join until, I believe, 82, when we moved from Southern California to New England. It was a craft cooperative. All of the items were made by crafters who all worked in the shop at the time and were part of it. I think they started with about a dozen, and we've been up to probably a little bit few over 50. And then we dropped down, way down to like half a dozen. And then we had to move here. Well, we didn't have to move here, we had to move. And this was a wonderful place. The Manies were wonderful, let us do a pop-up for our first Christmas so we wouldn't lose the whole season. And it was a great fit. And I went and talked to them and said, how can we make this work? And they helped us make it work. We did have an additional 1,200 square feet. It took us the better part of 6 months to figure out what to do with the extra space because there was no way we'd have enough craft items to fill 3,600 square feet. So we're now at 1,200 square feet. 2,400 square feet, 1,200 yarn shop and 1,200 on the gift side. Although that might be a little less because we did add the extra classroom space.
You might have stolen a little bit.
We did. We did. There's always this tug of war between Carol and I, and she does all the display stuff, and we're always encroaching on her space. But
So what was your craft? What got you involved in Craftworks? What did you do back then in the 80s?
When I first started, I was actually still canning and stuff, and I made flavored jellies. So apple thyme, strawberry, I don't even remember what I put in the strawberry. It's terrible. Probably thyme as well, because I liked thyme a lot. So I did fruited jellies with flavorings.
And
then I went on to quilting.
I was to say, were you a knitter? You were not really a knitter back then.
Knitter back then. I learned to knit in college. My roommate was from Alaska, and I arrived in Colorado from the Southeast Asia, and did not have nearly enough warm clothes. And she said, "You're gonna freeze. We're gonna go make you a sweater." And I learned to make the candied fisherman's knit. That was my very first sweater. I think I wore it every day throughout the whole cold season in Colorado. And it was great. And from then I did a little bit of knitting here and there, and found that it was when we moved here, I actually went and did some knitting on Grafton Street at a yarn shop because it was a great way to meet people and to socialize. So,
Which it still is.
still is,
It
absolutely.
still is.
We have social knits on Sundays from 1 to 3.
But you did have quite the quilting stint in between there. I know this because I'm a quilter, and I'm a quilter because of Ande. So did you ever sell any of your quilting in Craftworks as a crafter, or was that?
We did. So Nancy Robbins and I started a company called Peekaboo Originals. I know, does that ring a bell with a lot of you? So we did V-shaped sweatshirts, and we did little window panes with fabric behind them. And at one point, I think we had about 6 people sewing and cutting window panes for us. So it was quite an operation. We did a lot of craft fairs, we did some home parties, and we sold them here at the shop.
Correct. So when you bought the shop, which I think we figured out it's about 13 years ago, everybody remember the number 13. It might come in to be a lucky number at some point this promotional season. When you came here, was this about saving the shop, or you were like, you know what, my father owned businesses, my brother owned businesses, I can do this? Like, what got you to here to be a business owner?
What got me here was I'm a leader. I was willing to take the reins and found the place, and we moved in for Christmas. We made it through the Christmas season. A lot of people found us because we're closer to the Shrewsbury line. And we got done with Christmas, and all the crafters who were still involved were a little nervous because our expenses were a lot more than they had been in the center of town. And I just talked to my husband and said, you know, it's a viable business. Go for it. So I kind of took the reins. No real retail experience. My background is foods and nutrition and computer programming. So retail was a whole different ballgame for me.
Well, you do it very well. We're still here, and you know everybody loves the store.
Hopefully.
How do you balance, and I think this is just such an interesting thing, and I don't know a lot of our customers know, we have a yarn shop. Everybody knows about the yarn shop. We do a lot of videos. We have an American-made gift shop. Those are two very different businesses, and yet you're running them as one business. How do you figure out the balance of that? How to make that all seem so seamless? Because I imagine, I mean, to your staff it seems seamless, so your customers might think it's very seamless.
I think Carol has a huge part in that. She is in charge of display on the gift side, so she'll tell me what we need more of. I do send out probably quarterly newsletters to all the crafters and give them information about swapping out the inventory and that kind of stuff. So we're starting to collect things in the back for the summer. Christmas we usually start collecting in October. So it's not too difficult of a balance because when one side's busy, the other side isn't. So right now the yarn side is busy because everybody's done their holiday knitting and crocheting, and now they want to do stuff for themselves. This will start to slow down as the weather gets better and people move outdoors to doing their gardening and that kind of stuff. And the gift side will pick up because we have a lot of great gifts, handmade craft individual items for graduations, engagements, weddings, and that kind of stuff. And then through the summer, we get a little soft on both sides, but you have to remember people still have anniversaries, they still have retirement parties, they still have birthdays. So the gift side still stays fairly busy. The yarn side gets a little bit busier because a lot of people have more time off in the summer, and they will take a few of our one-time classes and just give something a try. And then as we come into the fall again, you start the fall with people starting to think about holiday knitting and crocheting. And then as we get further into the fall and the winter, then we come to Christmas. So it's a constant. A lot of yarn shop owners take advantage of the off season, if you will, to kind of regroup and rethink, and that's where I depend on you all to keep me going and keep me motivated and help me not be exhausted.
It's an exhausting business. You're a small business. You're a small local business. What does the community support mean for the shop?
Oh, community support is huge. I mean, that's how, you know, we'd be in the other location and people would find us. We were kind of tucked in behind CVS, and people would come in and find the store. Oh, this is beautiful. When did you open? 15 years ago. They'd be shocked. And the same thing over here. A lot of people will be driving through and they'll see the name, not quite sure. It's a hard name, Craftworks, because it doesn't indicate yarn. You kind of wonder, they're thinking more like a Michaels or something and not so much the finished product. So one of the biggest challenges is just letting people know we're here. Yeah, we're here, folks.
We're here. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and then we're going to do a rapid fire round so people get to know you a little bit more. what's your business philosophy? Because we are here and we are a small store. Now we all know what it is, and we love being here, and I think our regular customers do. But what do you think it is that is your business philosophy that we can share out and people go, oh, that's somewhere I do want to go there?
Business philosophy. Well, first of all, I like to treat people the way, obviously, the way we would want to be treated, and then a step beyond. And we really try to do that in everything that we do. We focus on the customer and wanting them to have a good day and a good experience. You never know where people are in their life or in their, they might be wandering in because they're having a bummer day and they just want to see something new. We greet people as though they were friends, and I think that's really important, is just to treat everybody really well and take care of them.
What's a really great positive about owning a small business?
People.
The people.
Meeting people, being able to help the people. Yeah.
Okay, are you ready for a little rapid fire quick question?
Try.
Okay. What's your favorite book? I knew I told you to do that.
Dictionary. New dictionary.
Okay. What's your favorite tool to have in your knitting bag?
My knitting bag, the little snips, those yellow ones, they're there because these have a little top to them so they don't poke through the bag. And also the Acreworks. I need this because I tend to cheat a little bit when you're doing your gauge.
Mm-hmm. What is your favorite thing to knit? Socks.
Scraps. Scrappy scarves, scrappy socks, scrappy. You guys several of you are doing this Battenberg lace blanket. So I can sit and make squares for them and just be done with it. See, I'm working on one.
Favorite summer pastime?
Watching my husband clam.
Favorite thing your husband cooks?
Oysters Rockefeller.
Which she might have just recently had. All right, gang, so that's just a little, anything to add? Anything?
No, just thank you all for all your support and for helping us keep the doors open. And if there's anything here that you'd like to learn or do whatever, we're here for you. This is your yarn shop, your gift shop. If we can find a product that you're looking for or offer classes or something that you're interested in, we're all ears, folks. Just thanks so much for supporting us.
Shop local, stop on by, and remember, keep that number 13 in your head somewhere. You never know when it's going to show up. Everybody have a great day. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.